The chair now recognizes the gentleman from the Northern Mariana Islands.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to claim time in opposition to the legislation, although I am not opposed.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in support of H.R. 443, a bill to assist the United States Department of Labor in identifying and preventing cases of human trafficking. I want to thank Representative Wahlberg for his leadership and partnership on this issue and for introducing this legislation, of which I am an original co-sponsor. Human trafficking is a scourge that preys on the most vulnerable, subjecting more than 27 million people around the world and thousands here in the United States to abhorrent working and living conditions. Eradicating all cases of human trafficking first requires an awareness of where it exists. And as the federal agency that oversees labor laws, the Department of Labor is uniquely positioned to identify patterns of labor exploitations. And that is why Representative Wahlberg and I reintroduced H.R. 443, the Enhancing Detection of Human Trafficking Act. This bipartisan, no-cost legislation directs the Department of Labor to train appropriate department staff on how to detect human trafficking and ensure that personnel at the Department of Labor are provided with screening tools to identify and detect trafficking activities. The bill requires the department to report back to Congress within a year on the progress that is being made by such efforts. Unfortunately, this terrible crime occurs in every part of our country, including in my own district, in the Northern Mariana Islands. In the past, several construction companies have lured non-U.S. workers to come to the Marianas with false promises and misrepresentations about pay and conditions. They didn't come through the southern border, I will assure you that. They came by airplane. But the companies then withheld the employees' wages and confiscated their passports. The workers were subjected to inhumane working conditions, crowded unsanitary barracks with barely enough food and water. They were forced to work in unsafe conditions, forced to look out to the community for food and food assistance, some suffering serious injuries without access to adequate medical care. There was even a workplace fatality. So, to their credit, the Department of Labor's OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and Wage and Hour divisions have worked to address these crimes, issuing fines and citations and recovering wages. But these grave injustices that rob people of their freedom and sometimes their lives are preventable. And Congress can and must do more to hold human traffickers accountable. And H.R. 443, the Enhancing Detection of Human Trafficking Act, is an important step towards ensuring that the department has the tools and resources it needs to combat human trafficking. I would also like to thank the leadership of the House, especially Chairwoman Virginia Fox and Ranking Member Bobby Scott of the Education and Workforce Committee for moving this bill to the floor. And again, I thank my friend, Representative Wahlberg, for his leadership in combating human trafficking. If one reason we should vote for this bill is because it's a good bill. Another good reason we should vote for it is because Mr. Wahlberg's team got the national championship. He deserves this win here. So last month, this bill gained overwhelming support in committee with a vote of 42-0. It passed the House unanimously in the 117th. I urge the rest of my colleagues to vote yes on this bill today, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves.